don't read the newspaper. Don't read the news. Don't read the headlines. Read the Bible. Read the Bible instead. What do I mean by that? I don't know if everybody experiences the same thing I do when I read Tanakh, but when I read Tanakh, there's one thing I walk away with. There's a feeling and a mindset that I walk away with when I read the book of Isaiah, the book of, Chizkiyahu. When I read the Tanakh, the Bible, the words of God's prophets telling over history, telling over the story of life, I walk away with one clear thing in my mind and in my heart, is that there's a God. He's in charge. He does everything. And it says it over and over again. The Jews didn't listen, and God punished them. The Jews didn't listen, and God punished them. And now, you can get caught up in why is God punishing. But the one thing you cannot get confused about is that God's in charge. And this is God's world. And that's what I mean by read the Bible. When you read the Bible, because it's God's prophets speaking for God and telling us the story of life from God's perspective, we know it's all about Hashem. It's all about God. He does everything, and in the end of the day, it's Him that's in control. But when you read the newspapers, when you read the headlines, when you go online and you get caught up with all of this, you get sunken in, you get drawn in, and you're like, that Netanyahu, who does he think he is? How could they do that? Why do they do that? How could they give food to their enemy? You fall down a few levels, and you get caught up in this crossfire, and you lose the idea that God's really behind it all. And I'll tell you another thing. The crazier and the more ridiculous you see history, the way history unfolds, the more, I'll tell you, is God involved. Because God makes the same people do insane things. It's only because Hashem is in ultimate control why insane things can happen. Because sane people generally don't do insane things. They're the ones that have the special white jackets. When sane people act in an insane way, very many times it's Hashem behind behind the scenes doing it all. And the idea that we are stuck for 6 months and we seem to have gotten nowhere is from Hashem. There's something we have to accomplish. There's something that only we can accomplish. And there's a step that only we right now can make within the circumstances we're in right now. And when we take that step, when we move forward, when we do what Hashem's waiting to see us accomplish, we'll get to that next step. And that next step, Be'ezrat Hashem, Mamash, you could see it. You could almost see it unfolding. Is what Hashem promised us. It is Mashiach. Is a better world. A better world is just basically one step away. And when we take that right step, this will all disappear. Similar to what we hear from Avram. Avram was going to do Akedat Yitzchak, and there was a river blocking him. It was all just a test from the Exile. And as soon as he took that step, it disappeared. And when we take the right step with emunah in Hashem, ready to face those fears, ready to be isolated, ready to be singled out, ready to put our lives on the line, we will get the ultimate what Hashem is really trying to give us, when we deserve it and when we earn it. And when we give our life for Hashem and for our people and for truth, we will get the ultimate truth and Hashem and our people back, and everything will be great.